Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Crypto Trading Basics Bootcamp. We launched this program. It's an 8-week bootcamp is what we're calling it. And every Monday night, myself, I'm going to be tuning in and teaching you about the basics of blockchain and what is crypto. And just out of curiosity, before we jump into today's session, who is here on Monday? I want to see who is here on Monday. I just want to yes in the chat or a no. And if you weren't here on Monday, that's okay, because maybe you already know the basics of blockchain. You know what blockchain is. You understand what Ethereum is. You know what Bitcoin is. You know what a centralized exchange is. You know what private keys are. You know that you need to own your crypto. You need to know what your private keys are. And now you're ready to up your game and you're ready to trade crypto. That's fantastic. Then you're in the right place, because that's where Renee is going to take you. But if you are not there yet, and you don't know what seed phrases are, and you don't have a strategy to keep them safe, and you're not educated enough to be your own bank, then you need to be coming to the Web3 Basics Bootcamp, okay? So that's every Monday night with me. But if you're already there, you've been attending, I see some students on the call, that's fantastic. You know, Anthony, I know he's been in the space for a while. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of others that I can't see up on the screen in front of me at the moment. Maybe you're ready to take the next step, and that next step might be crypto trading, and maybe this is the right class for you. So you don't need to come to Wednesday's class, but maybe you need to come to Monday's class, but maybe you need to come to Wednesday's class, which is tonight with Renee, who we'll introduce shortly, and we'll be leading you through our lesson today. But this is a live session. All these sessions are going to be recorded. This is the exciting part is, if you know anybody that wants to learn about crypto or trading, yes, we're delivering it live. Yes, we want people to jump in. It's a boot camp. It's the same thing if you were to go to the gym. Yeah, we want you to come to the classes every day. But if you can't make the class, as long as you go and you still do your exercise, we're happy, right? So anybody can join. They don't have to join our live classes. They can just watch the recordings, and they can still win. And we're going to talk about the gaming in just a moment. So please, all we're asking is share this, because all we want to do is help more people learn. So few warnings. If first warning is for anybody that was here on Monday. So we've got some yeses, yes, yes, yes. All of you that said yes, I kind of recommend that you probably just put me on mute for the next 5 minutes and come back, maybe go make yourself a cup of tea, because I'm going to repeat everything that we talked about on Monday. Okay. So take a break, come back. So first warning, if you weren't here on Monday, these are some very important warnings that you need to know if you're serious about upskilling yourself and you're serious about learning about this new industrial revolution of a new financial ecosystem of technology of Web3 and AI. Now, we are not talking about AI in this course, but that will be a part of the educational programs that we bring you. But it's going to be information overload. Like, your brain is going to explode, and we call it the rabbit hole. When you go down the rabbit hole, we are your friends, but just be prepared for it. This program is going to be overload. Now, I'd like to know here who here speaks 2 languages. Just I want to know who here is fluent in 2 languages. And just out of curiosity, I don't know if my polls, if they carry over, do they? Oh, they do. I'm going to do a poll, everyone, because we like, all right, we're doing a poll because we like to do interactive sessions. So we're doing a poll. Who here speaks 2 languages? I want to know. Okay. For all of you that are saying yes, how easy was it for you to become fluent in that language? I can probably guarantee you it wasn't 2 months. So you're definitely not going to become fluent in Web3 and crypto and blockchain. We are going to cram as much information as we can into you, but just please know that it's just as challenging as learning a new language. And we're here and we want you to be interactive. So please interact with us. We're here, we're delivering, we're giving you value. We're going to talk about how we can deliver these to you for free, and we deliver them to you for free because we have a whole bunch of backing, and Matt's going to talk about ATB, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But we're really here to just educate and teach you, but I just really want you to know that we're going to give you a lot of information. In my last warning, biggest warning, inside this room, inside this classroom, outside of this classroom, online, romance scams. My mom told me today she's trying to buy a puppy, and she's like, there are so many scams, my love. They're trying to scam her because she's so sad. All she wants is a free puppy, but she can't afford one. And then they keep trying to scam her. They are everywhere. They're romance scams, they're puppy scams, they're crypto scams, they're everywhere. So please be safe. Our team will never, ever, ever, ever DM you, never ask you to invest money. We will share our affiliate links. We'll tell you who we use, but we will never recommend that you invest a certain amount of money to get a certain round return. That scams are everywhere, so please just be careful. Not in crypto, just online in general. And in week 4, week 4, I think I bumped it up to week 3. So next week we talked about crypto. Week 3 we talk about how to stay safe online. And we talk about 2FA, we talk about passwords, we talk about seed phrases, we talk about everything. Like, I cannot hammer this home enough. I don't want to sound like this mom, but like, if this is the biggest warning I can tell you, is that we can provide you education. I can't keep you safe. I can't even say there could be a scammer in this room right now. So this is the biggest warning I can give you. And my rant is over. Let's get into the fun stuff now that I've given I'm not done yet. Education purposes only, not financial advice. We're talking about crypto trading. We're talking about how you can invest I'm going to share results of the quiz, but you have to do your own research. Okay, really do your own research, and it's being recorded. I've already mentioned that. All right, disclaimers out of the way. One last disclaimer, everybody that was here last week, don't worry, we're not going to go through this every single week. Okay, this is our first week. I went through it last week. I've gone through it this week. Moving forward, we'll skip all of that. So don't worry. Don't think, oh my God, I'm going to turn up and she's going to talk about this every week. But we really need to make it important that everybody's opted in and understands that we're here to educate you, and it's your responsibility to keep you safe. We're doing this collectively. So all things blockchain, which we're going to introduce in a moment, EvolvH3R and Jana, we've come collectively together to see how we can have more of an impact and educate more people and keep them safe. We also have education partners that we partner with. Insightful is one of them. So for those of you that are turning up here, if you're at the stage where you understand crypto, you want to diversify your assets, you maybe have a South mutual fund, something of that nature, these might be the right education partner for you, because they're not only teaching about trading in different ways that you can trade, and Renee's going to teach a way to trade. They have a way to trade. I don't trade because I'm not good at it. I'm not emotionally capable of it. But what they do that's different from what I've seen from everyone else is they tie in a wealth strategy. And we did a webinar a couple weeks ago about it. And it's like, have you thought about multiple streams of income? Okay, so great. You make a bag, which means a whole bunch of money from crypto. How are you diversifying? What are you putting it in? Do you have a retirement savings plan? What about your swift management? How much money do you have in property? How much money are you putting in tech stocks? How much money are you putting in this? Are you deciding to do that? That's what these guys are good at. So if you're interested in that, we've got a QR code for you at the end, but they're just one of our education partners. But I definitely think that in my opinion, they can still help people that are new, but like, if you're really ready, I recommend that you reach out to these guys. Now, this boot camp is brought, as I mentioned to you, by a whole bunch of different partners. So I just wanted to highlight Insightful. You are going to see, we're going to reference Bybit. Now, Bybit, for those of you that don't know, is an exchange, very popular exchange. And we work ATB. They're one of our sponsors for ATB. EvolvH3R works with them. And they've said, like, we want to educate people. How can we support you so you you will see that they have supported this initiative. And I use their products. Renee uses their products, so we'll be using demos and everything. So I just like to be full disclosure that we've come together collectively. Yes, we have our affiliate links. Yes, you can make money from affiliate marketing. Yes, we have an affiliate program that we will be teaching people. If you want to learn more about that, you can ask later in the Q&A session. You can ask in the group. But I just want full disclosure that they are one of our partners. There's many different exchanges. ATB, if you go to our website, we work with, I don't know how many exchanges. I actually can't count, but off the top of my head, I think if you go there, there'll be 8 to 10, but Bybit is one of them. And one of the things that we like to do at ATB is make sure that we trust them and that they're good exchanges. They're not an FTX. Now, when I say they're not an FTX, how many people understand what I'm saying, that they're not an FTX? Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't make that claim because this is being recorded, because I don't know. If Bybit goes under tomorrow, you cannot hold me accountable. Now, that's an inside joke. But see, there's a few people on here that don't understand. There's a few people that do. My point is that we do our best to make sure that we only partner. If you see us recommending or doing something, it's because we use it and it's just a product that we use. Okay. So I just want a little disclosure on that. All right, let's move forward. Agenda. I'm almost done with the introductions. Then I'm going to hand it over to Renee. She is going to give you a little bit of overview, and then you're going to jump in. And with Renee's section, there's theory and then a lot of practical. So I know that she's got a lot of chart sharing. Maybe tonight is just going to be like the start, but I know a lot of her sessions are going to be really, really interactive. So for those of you that are really wanting to get your hands dirty and like start learning how to mark up charts and do all that sort of stuff, her sessions will be a little bit shorter in the theory part and more practical, rather than my sessions will do more theory, and then I give you homework that you have to do and you have to bring it into the next session. So they're kind of a little bit different deliveries. Now, for those of you that weren't on the call on Monday, and I hope the other ones have gone for their tea break, my name is Danielle Marie. I am the founder of EvolvH3R, which is my complete obsession and passion project for this year. My background is an educator for the last 5+ years and teaching at TAFE Queensland, delivering the diploma and the advanced diploma of Applied Blockchain. And I left that position to launch my own education platform. And I originally had founded All Things Blockchain, which is a nonprofit association, what Matt will tell you about in just a moment, back in November 2020. And I said, how can we collaborate? How can I work with WODECA, which is a women's working group, a part of DECA? And how can we all collaborate together to help educate more people and mentor more women into the space? So for EvolvH3R and what we're trying to do, we're trying to have an impact on over 1 million women globally to help them enter into the digital economy. And what does that mean? Web3 AI, how do they learn? How do they upskill? How do we do that? We do that through our mentorship program. We did our beta at the start of the year, and we have our first official sponsored cohort launching in October. We do that through education. So these programs, this is the first of many, okay? They're going to be recorded. They're going to be put into the platform. They're going to be put into the group. And then community, we do a lot of activations. We're actually on tour. We are going to Korea. We're going to Singapore. I think then we got Miami, then we go to Australia. And so we're building a global community. So if you are tuning in globally, please, I'm so excited that you're here. And we try to do in real life activations, but we will also be focusing as we grow and doing more online activations such as this, and that is EvolvH3R in its essence. We do this through our impact partners. Now, I'm not going to dive into this too much, but this is just to show you that We've onboarded these impact partners over the last couple of months since conception, when we started in March, when I decided to go full tilt into building this initiative, and we're onboarding more. So if there's anybody on this call, whether it's yourself or if you know somebody, we want to we have social impact partners like Koala Pay, which is our humanitarian aid project that we work with. 5% of our sponsorship rates goes to these impact partners. We've got Glow Dollar, ATB. We've got so many, and we want to partner with you. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Matt. Matt, are you there? Can you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your role, and everything about ATB and all of your contributions?
Excellent. Thank you, Danielle. And it's wonderful to see actually, I think there are more people here tonight than there were the other night, hovering around 30 plus people for the entire night. So thank you all for coming out. Danielle and I are having a lot of fun building this program and building up more community. That's what we do at All Things Blockchain. All Things Blockchain is a community organization. We're actually an incorporated association based out of Brisbane, Australia, and we hold around 12 in-person events every year. And the answer to Danielle's question, there are 6 exchanges. I was counting them because I'm privy to this deck, so I was watching as she was building up to this slide. And as we saw on the previous slide, we're very grateful for all our sponsors, of whom 6 are exchanges. But we work with a range of other partners, collaboration partners, including taxation, Web3 tax law firms, a whole range of different people there. There's a recruiter, proof of search. There's a grants and research development company called Granton, a whole range of sponsors. And these are people who we meet in our travels and on Zoom calls and through our general networking and community building. And yeah, we'll jump to the next one. Thanks, Danielle. So my role is as chairperson of the All Things Blockchain Association. And we put on, as I say, those 12 in-person events. Every first Tuesday we meet in Brisbane, Australia, and we do stream those live to the world as well. So you're always welcome to join on Zoom. You'll find us on Meetup and Luma. If you just search for All Things Blockchain, you'll find our Luma calendar of events, and also you can sign up there. Speaking of sign-ups, you can sign up to our community newsletter on paragraph.com. That's the QR code down the bottom right there. On Paragraph, we put out a monthly newsletter on the first day of every month, which covers events not only in Australia, particularly around the Eastern Seaboard, where most of the events are, but also internationally. We try and highlight events that people might be interested in, and ones that we think align with our values and good parts of crypto world. As Danielle mentioned, we are organizing events in alongside Token 2049 in Singapore coming up in September, and we're also planning and hoping to get to Korea. Back on ATB though, a lot of online AMAs every year, where we work with our sponsors to help them get their messages across as well. And yeah, we've got around about at least 3,500 members that are, part of what we're doing in our community. And it's all about education really, and chain agnostic is the other thing with us. We don't sort of particularly, advocate for one chain over another or one coin over another, but we pride ourselves on being all things blockchain. And I think that's a pretty good summary. Thanks, Danielle.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. Now, I'm going to hand over to Renee in just a second, but I wanted to highlight that we are gamifying this whole experience. We want to make it more fun. And if you haven't already signed up, if you found a way, I actually meant to mention this at the beginning, into this Zoom and you haven't signed up officially through the sign up process, you need to go ahead and do that, because then that will get you access to the group, because then you get the welcome email and you get all the information. But inside there, once you're inside there, we're working on building it out. So it is a new platform. So it's a little bit of a shell, but we'll be sharing every week. Like after on Tuesday morning, I shared the recording of Monday session, and I shared the quizzes. Renee's got a quiz for you to do today, and you earn points. Now, I'm so sorry, folks. I forgot I had it in the other slide from Monday. We actually have some rewards, and so we're giving away some USDT is on offer. We have some Bybit merch boxes that are on offer. We've got some Australian crypto conventions that are on offer. And honestly, I have this on the slide from last week, and I totally forgot to put it in here. But there's prizes. So the point is if you want to win, you want to have some fun, you want to learn and earn, make sure you're going in there. It's not a social media platform. It's literally going in there. You can comment, like you can share something, you find a good video, you can do that, you can comment on that sort of stuff, and you get points for engaging that way. But the majority of the way that you can win is that if you do a quiz, if you do my quiz and Renee's quiz every week, your chances of winning are pretty good. So I would recommend that you learn and earn. Now, a part of the Learn and Earn program with Renee is that you need a demo account, okay? And so she's going to be demoing with Bybit full disclosure, that is our Bybit affiliate link. We are partners with Bybit. We are recommending. Now, I am not a trader. So Renee trades and she uses Bybit. All I use is the Bybit card. And if I want to buy like dog with hat, or some other crypto that I can't buy sometimes on other exchanges, I do that. I get paid in stable coins. I transfer them to my card and I spend them. Renee trades. So if you're wanting to trade, she'll be using demo account, and you're just going to need it. So if you haven't already signed up for a demo account, you can scan that QR code now and you can do it. You can do it later. But if you're going to want to play along with her, you're going to need to play in demo account. So I am not recommending anybody invest any money. We want you to play in demo account until you're comfortable. That's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Renee. So Renee, I'm going to stop sharing. Renee is going to take it over because she's going to be controlling the rest of the session. And while Renee brings us up, I think that it's important for know Renee has been in the space for a while. She has been working very, very hard at learning how to trade. She's going to start sharing her screen, and then she'll jump into the lesson in just a moment.
Yeah. It says that I am it says I am sharing. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, it says I'm sharing. Hang on, I'll try again. Do share, share, share.
There we go.
Hey.
All right, Renee, you can introduce yourself. Over to you.
Awesome. Great. So everyone can see my screen now. It's great. Awesome.
Get some yeses. Can I get some Y's in the chat if you can?
Awesome.
And before Renee, just
Perfect.
to ignore, before I ignore all the people in the chat, we will come back. I see some of those questions. Sandra, everyone, we will come back to those questions. So please stick around. And everyone's got some yeses, so it's over to you, Renee. And Matt,
Awesome.
take over the screen, the hosting.
Awesome. So thanks so much, guys. I'm so excited to see everybody here. Super excited to kind of share my experience with crypto trading. So a little bit of background on me. I actually have an accounting and finance background. Many, many years ago, I studied finance and accounting at university. I was working as an accountant, and that's how I originally got into trading. I used to trade stocks and options. And this was like many, many years ago, and I might be giving away my age, but back in the day, we didn't have cell phones, like we didn't have smartphones. We used pagers, and we used to have to call the broker on a phone after we'd get a page on our beeper that would alarm us because they didn't have phones. That was back in the day when I first started trading. And so I went to a bunch of actual trading schools and actual at university to learn how to trade. And then for many, many years, I just stopped trading because back in the day, it wasn't very easy to trade. Like computers weren't great, the internet wasn't great. We still had dial-up modems. It was like, it's not what we have right now. And so basically in 2021, I found crypto, and it was the peak of the market. I literally got in at the very, very top of the market. I got in March of 2021 and proceeded to lose like all of my money, like everybody else. So I've been through the very, very highs and the very, very lows. This was my 4-year cycle birthday. So I have been a full cycle in crypto right now. And so in sharing that, just trading is hard. Trading is really, really hard. It does take a lot of time. But once you actually put in the time and the effort, it can be very rewarding. Saying that, there's lots of different styles of trading. There's a million different styles of trading. There's a million different ways to trade. You can trade DeFi, you can trade NFTs, you can trade like big stocks like just Bitcoin, you can trade like, altcoins. There's so many different styles of trading and different actual things that you can trade with. So saying that, don't get discouraged. Try lots of different things, but never ever invest more than you're willing to lose, because while crypto can make you a lot of money, it is very risky. And so when we learn how to trade, I'm going to make sure that we have lots of safeguards. We make sure we're going to go through risk management. There's all this sort of thing. So I will move across, actually, just a little bit on my background here. So currently, I'm a funded trader with a company called Hiro Trader, and you'll kind of see a little bit of that when we go into the demo account. And so basically that what means I work for a prop firm, and I basically trade on their behalf. And so that is the account that you'll see when I'm trading on my demo account. Yeah, and I also work as assistant manager for all things blockchain. And yeah, we've been doing this in crypto for 4 years. So let's go. Of course, here's all your warnings. This is not financial advice. Nothing I say is ever financial advice. I'm just sharing my experience. Again, crypto trading is very difficult. Everybody knows this. I can't promise you anything, but all I can share is my experience, and I'm very passionate about it. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit from my experience. And of course, always beware of scammers. So this is going to be a very, very basic introduction to trading. So in the chat, can anyone like put their hand up and say, yes, do you currently trade, or are you an investor? So put T for trading or I for investor in the chat, so we can kind of see like which one. So trading is like you're buying, selling frequently, or investors, you're a hodler, like you're holding long term. So it's like half and half. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. So if you guys are already trading, some of this introductory stuff is probably going to be a little bit like, you probably already know a lot of this sort of stuff. But if you've never really looked at technical analysis and at charts, they can be very, very overwhelming. So I'm going to show you some of my charts, and then I'm going to start with some basic charts for you, because like if you have a look at my charts and the way they are, they can be a little bit overwhelming. But so this week, we're just going to go over some really, really basics of market structure and like how to look at a chart. And then we're going to go over the weeks. We're going to go through different types of technical analysis, different types of indicators, different like styles of patterns. And then we're also going to go over some fundamental news analysis, things like that. Going into Bybit, how to use Bybit, the different advanced features of Bybit. And then also I'm going to go into my personal trading style that I've called Artemis. And so it's based on the market maker method, if you are familiar with that at all. And it is a trend, candlestick, chart pattern recognition style. So yeah, we'll get into that in week 7. And then we're going to finish up with some psychology journaling, which is really, really important to be able to finesse and refine your own trading style, is to reflect on your previous trades. Perfect. Awesome. So this week, we're going to go between what is trading, what is investing, different types of movements of the charts, different types of candlesticks, and just basic introductions to reading a chart. Perfect. Well, actually, go back first. So trading versus investing. So this is why I asked before if you're a trader or investor. Basically, trading is if you're buying and selling over short periods of time, whether that be day trading. So day trading is like within a 24-hour period over a couple of days. I used to do a lot of scalping, which scalping is like very, very short time periods. Like that could be minutes to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes people even do like micro trades, which is like less than a minute. So that is a scalping. And then you got the day trading, and then you'll have like longer term, like swing traders, which usually do for a few days. And then you've got your longer term investors who hodl for longer periods of time. So candlestick basics, I'm sure everyone has seen a candlestick, but maybe not necessarily understood what a candlestick actually represents. So we've obviously got generally red and green candles are used, but they can be any different color depending on what you like. But in general, your red candles, which is like a negative candle or a down candle, you're going to start with the price open on one side and then the close on the other side going in that direction. And then with the up price, which is the green candle, you're going to start on the bottom and then you're going to have the close on the top. And then you also have your little high and low wicks on the top, which show basically the extreme of where the candle goes up and down within that time period. Okay. And then basics, we've got uptrends and downtrends. So we've got uptrends, which is a series of higher highs and higher lows. And then obviously downtrends, which is a series of lower lows and lower highs going this way. So I'm going to switch right now to a real chart. Where is my chart? Okay. Cool. Can everyone see my chart? Get some yeses in the chart to that switch. Perfect. Okay. So this is Ethereum. So if you don't know, it's actually Ethereum's birthday today. So Ethereum first started trading on July 30th of 2015. So it's Ethereum's 10-year anniversary birthday. And so when we're looking here, we can have some very obvious like higher highs and then higher lows. And then you can kind of see that the way that the trends are moving, obviously by seeing the lower lows and lower highs. Gonna draw here. So obviously downtrend here. And then you can see there's your uptrend there. Again, this is all really, really basic stuff. And uptrend. So when we're saying trends, that's basically all we're saying is like we're just looking in the direction of which the price movement is going. And when you're drawing your trend lines, you draw an uptrend line on the bottom of the base of each of the higher lows if they go up. And when you draw a downtrend, you draw the connected dots from the top. So the lower highs as they go down that way. So switch back here. Perfect. Whoop. So I'm going to try and use a bunch of different words that you may not have heard before. They might be familiar, they might not be familiar. But basically, consolidation is a period of time in which the market goes sideways. And so this is something that we say Bitcoin does a lot. It consolidates a lot. It goes sideways a lot. Sometimes we joke that Bitcoin's a stable coin because it loves to go sideways. And so basically, consolidation is basically a period of time of it going sideways, if you want to think about it in easier terms than that, if you see consolidation. And then we've got support and resistance lines. So support is a price at which you have the consolidation at a certain price. And that is where you would find support in the price. And so you'd find that the price will come down, hit that price, and then bounce off in an upward direction. That is what we call support. The opposite is true for downtrend, and we call it resistance. It's a price level at that where you find a series of like attempts to pass through a certain price and it fails. So that's usually what we call resistance. So support lines we draw underneath the price, and resistance lines we put on top of the price. Perfect. So I'm going to actually go into here. Before we go into the actual chart, we're going to go back into my chart and do some diagrams. Okay. So if we're looking at this chart right now, this is Ethereum. So just looking straight away, we can see, for me straight away, I can see a period of resistance around here. So you can kind of see how it's hit this point, it's hit this, it's rejected, it's come up here, it found it, it did push through, but then it's rejected again. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you'll find at this price level, that is generally what we would call a resistance level. We can find an easy one down here. So I'm going to make that red actually. You can always use your own colors depending on what you want, but like in general, I think red and green are just easy for people to kind of recognize. And for me down here, I can kind of see this is an area of support. Because you can kind of see up here, it's broke through, it's finding support here, it's finding support here, it's finding support here. This is a general area of support. So when you're drawing these lines, that's the kind of things that you're looking for. You're never going to actually have like perfect lines. That just doesn't work. So in general, you're trying to find points where there's multiple touches over periods of time to create those levels of support and resistance. Perfect. Oh. Okay, so we're going to go next into Bybit because we're actually going to show you how this all works inside the platform. Awesome. So hands up in the chat. Who has a Bybit account already? Do we have any Bybit customers already? You can check a yes or no. Perfect. No. Awesome. So basically, I've been trading with Bybit for many, many years, and I actually trade with Bybit with HyroTrader on a sub account for them. So I'm very familiar with the platform and how it all works. So if you ever have any questions about Bybit or how the platform works, definitely feel free to ask me. I can pretty much help you out with any of that. But once we've signed up, I actually have a video at the end that you guys can go and watch that I've recorded on my YouTube channel that shows you how to set up everything inside of Bybit, how to log on and how to start your account if you don't have an account. But if you do have an account, I'm going to show you where to find the demo trading, because right now on this screen, you need to have money in your account in order to be able to trade, to access the features, but they do have a 100% free demo account. And so what you've got to do is come up here. So underneath this button here, which is going to be kind of like your drop down, it's going to be all the way down the bottom. You'll see demo trading. So you're just going to click on that and it will take you to your demo trading account. Usually it'll start you with $100,000. So you really don't want to get too crazy because this is all obviously fake money, but I would start trading with a balance that you would be legitimately using. If you start trading with the full $100,000, it can get a little bit crazy and a little bit hectic. So if you're only starting with $5,000, start with $5,000 and then use it that way, just to kind of keep yourself on a level playing field, more realistic for sure. So you can kind of see in here, this is our platform. I'm actually using TradingView view. So the charts that I just showed you were in TradingView. Does anyone else have a TradingView account right now? Does anyone use TradingView for like chart analysis? Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I use TradingView. Like I have the premium account, so I have like 50,000 indicators. Like I love it. So highly recommend. Yeah, you can still do a lot with the free version. So there is a free version, and I'm going to show you some hacks to kind of get around the limitations of the free version as well, because you can only have like 3 indicators at a time, I think, on that one. But basically, we're going to show in here. just the very basics of how to navigate the Bybit platform just really easily. So I'm actually in the futures trading because I trade futures. It's going to be similar on spot, slightly different. Basically in futures, the leverage is like way higher for sure, obviously. So I do trade on 100x leverage. Please don't do that unless you know what you're doing. And then always please use a stop loss if you are going to be trading like that. But just to give you an example, we're going to go over the platform here. I use cross margin. Again, we will go into a little bit more detail on the platform on all the different types of margin and everything. But this is just showing you what I do. Because I'm a day trader, I just usually use market because it gets in and out. So we have limit here, which is going to do a fixed price for what you want to buy and sell. And then market will just do the absolute correct price at that very time. And then here, of course, you've got all different amounts of your account that you want to use. But this is the most important here is you want to do the stop loss. So please, please, please always use a stop loss. There's never in a time when you do not want to use a stop loss. I have been liquidated on an entire account before for not using a stop loss on a 5x leverage trade because that's how crazy crypto is. So please, 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 even if you think that your liquidation point, which we'll also get into, is far away, please always use a stop loss because yeah, that was not fun. Perfect. So yeah, so we got stop losses long, short here. And of course, yep. I have a $200,000 demo because I'm actually doing a challenge with HiroTrader right now. So if you guys have any questions about HiroTrader, definitely ask me in the group as well. But basically the way it works is that you do challenges and you have to prove yourself as a good trader and you have to hit a certain profit goal. So for this account, I have to reach a $30,000 profit. And then I move on to the next level. And then basically it's like a training at that point. Yeah, but that's basically a really, really quick over of Bybit and how to get to your demo account. Perfect. And so then if you look at our screen again, you're just basically, again, market order, limit order. There's two different types depending on your time frame, how fast you need to get in. That's your market versus your limit order. Okay. And that was the second one I showed you. So that's your take profit stop loss bar where I showed you need to have your stop loss. I don't always use take profits because I generally take profits as I go. But I always, always, always use a stop loss before I do anything for sure. Perfect. So that was a really, really quick overview of all the different, the basic introduction to your trading view, to your Bybit, basically reading charts. We're going to go into a lot more detail about all of the different types of styles of trading, different types of chart analysis, different types of chart indicators. It would be really good if you guys in the group, if you have any particular indicators or if you have any different types of chart styles that you want me to specifically go over, that would be great. Just to kind of see what level you guys are, and it'd be really great to kind of gauge those sort of things, because then I can give you feedback and help you on at your level and what you want to do for sure. So next technical analysis is going to be a much more in-depth basically overview, and we're going to be doing that next week on Wednesday. Perfect. So yeah, again, if you guys haven't got a demo account, please sign up. We're going to be doing a lot more examples with all of that kind of stuff. So please sign up for your demo account. And then, yeah, Finsightful, if you guys want to check them out again, like Danielle said, if you are a bit more advanced and want a bit more advanced kind of knowledge, check out these guys. They're going to be able to help you to move forward in those kind of things. Ooh. Perfect. So this is your challenge before next week. If you don't have an account, sign up for your demo account, make sure that you get your wallet, and then do a trade. And so what you're going to do is do a trade and then take a screenshot of that trade and then pop it in the group, and then we can talk about it and have a chat and give you some feedback. Maybe we can do some reflection on why you took the trade, the different types of things that you were looking for when you did the trade. Does that sound good? Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. And so now for each lesson, we're going to have homework, and then we're also going to have further reading. So if you want to do more research, if you want to go further in depth on all the different topics that we're talking about, we are going to send you out a learning resource with like all of the topics and then extensions on the reading, so you can like read more into each topic. And then basically, we're going to have the quiz like Danielle saw as well. So if you join the, I'll give you the link for the quiz actually. So here's the link for
Renee, sorry, I was just gonna notice, I don't know why that's not the right image, but if you share the quiz link in there for them, I don't know why, I must have shared the wrong link and not updated it. But that is the quiz that they can do, and they can earn points, which I think you were just gonna say to them. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So that's a link for the quiz for the first week. So if you go in there, there should be, if you're not quite sure, again, go back to your learning resource, which we'll be able to send, and then go into do your demo activity and do your first trade and share it with the group. So yeah, hopefully that was a little bit of a tidbit of like what we're going to be going further deep into over the next like 7 weeks. How do we go here? I think that's everything.
I think there was a question in there, Renee. I think so. Now we'll open it up to some Q&A.
Yeah. So
Nick asked, does Bybit have a guaranteed stop loss?
there's always a risk of slippage, always. There's just
it?
So basically when crypto moves so fast, sometimes what happens is that your stop loss will slip, which means the price that you put it in can go away from where you wanted it to, just because just the speed at which the transactions like happen, which is why you always want to use a market stop loss. So there's two different types of stop losses. There's a limit stop loss, and then there's a market stop loss. So a limit will only execute at your price. And what happens is sometimes if you have that fixed at that limit, it could skip that at all. So it could completely miss that stop loss. So you need to use a market stop loss, which will keep going until it hits, but there will be slippage in there. So that's why you don't want to have your stop loss too close to your liquidation point, because you could get slippage into your liquidation point. That might be a little bit too much for people like new people, but basically liquidation point is the point at which you will lose your whole account. So when you go back into, I'll actually show you.
So while you're bringing that up, Renee, what's the point of entering in a stop loss if it's like, it's not going to work?
It will work, but because crypto is so volatile, it happens so fast that there's just not enough time, and that you can get a slippage, which is why you don't want to have your stop loss again like too close to a liquidation point, because it could miss, and why you don't want to use a limit stop loss, what you need to use a market one. So nothing's perfect.
Is that what you're going to show us now? How do you pick the difference between a market and a limit stop loss?
Yeah, so basically, okay, so these ones will always be, so you got index mark, there's different types here. The ones that you want to do is a conditional order, which is like more complicated and stuff. So see how it's like a limit. So you can choose limit or market. I don't use conditional orders. I always just use market orders and stop and take profit. So this is a bit more advanced. I don't use this at all, because like any sort of limit order could get skipped. There's no guarantee for that. With a market order, it should always keep going until it eventually gets hit, but it might not get hit at the price that you put it in at. Again, this is very rare that it happens, but being crypto, we do have extreme volatility events where this sort of thing happens. So I've had, back in 2021, there was like a market crash. And so basically the entire websites, like all the different exchanges crashed. You couldn't even get in. So if you didn't have a stop loss in, you would have got liquidated. They wouldn't give you enough time to get in there and put in a stop loss because the prices were moving so fast, which is why you need to always put the stop loss in right when you place that trade just to be safe. Cool. So that's the conditional order with the limit. I don't like using that at all. But what you'll see here is liquidation price on your trade. So these are my trades that I've got open right now. So right now I've got a Bitcoin short. My liquidation price is 600K, like ridiculous. Like it's so far away that that's never going to be an issue. This one over here, it could be like, $20, like that's going up. Like, yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah.
But is that
Because I'm using such a small percentage of my balance. Yeah. But if you're using a bigger percentage of your total balance, you could hit a liquidation issue.
And will you go more into liquidation and issues further on in the course?
Yeah. That's more in the advanced stuff. Yeah. But that's just, answering the questions. Your demo account will automatically get funded when you start it. You automatically start with 100K. So it will just, like, as soon as you go in there, we'll say, welcome to demo, and it will automatically just give you 100K. That's why I said, make sure that you don't use the whole amount. Just be realistic with the percentage that you use, because if you start trading with 100K, it can kind of get your head like a bit out of whack from what's actual reality. Is there any other questions?
Sign up with the demo account with the QR code with your affiliate link, and then
Yeah. So basically, as soon as you sign up, use the QR code or just use our link. And then, like I said, I'm gonna go back to the main thing.
While you bringing that up, I've got a question. First of all, there's no ever dumb question. Sorry, I put my camera on. I just turned it off just because I was listening. There's never a dumb question. Always question. Every question is a good question. Question is, how is a stop loss triggered? Example, if I buy Bitcoin at $100 and set at once, take profit at 150, can I set a stop loss at 130? Does it trigger? Was it past 130 when the market fails, it only triggers?
So I think the price in order to have a stop loss would need to surpass the $130. So you can't set a stop loss above. Stop loss is only below the price. So say if you bought at $100, your stop loss would have to be like at $90 or something like that. There is something called a trailing stop loss. So you can do on here. Oh, wait, I have to go back in. Anyway, I'm just going to show you guys how to get back into your demo account. So I've got some trades, so it'll work. So if you go in here, and so you basically the little yellow dot. So the little yellow dot at the top, click on that, and then you're going to scroll all the way down here to demo trading. And then demo trading. And so once you've got a trade, so if you go over here, see there's this trailing stop here. So you can add a trailing stop, which is basically you can add a stop that follows as you go up. So say it went from $100 to $150, you could set your trailing stop at $20. So if it went to $150, your stop will just keep following and it will be at 130 and stay there. So if it drops, then it will trigger at 130. So there is that potential to do that sort of thing if you're not watching the market and doing those sort of things. The other ones will be fixed, so they will just stay there until you manually trade them. And that's usually what I do, is like I will just manually update my stops and I will move them up or down depending on different types of support and resistance levels.
Why don't you use trailing stop losses?
Because basically the markets, especially something like Bitcoin, it's very choppy and it will go sideways a lot. So if you have a stop loss like that follows it, you'll get stopped out all the time. For my style of trading, if you have a very trending market and they're moving really strongly in one direction, that would be like something like Ethereum right now. Like if you had a trailing stop on that, that would be keep going up and up because it's basically going straight up. Altcoins as well, like tend to trend really strongly. So having a trailing stop loss can be very beneficial. But if you're trading something like Bitcoin, it's very choppy and it goes sideways. You'll just get stopped out all the time if you have like a trailing stop that's too close. So there's different types of stops for different styles of market, basically. Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. Is there any other questions, guys, for today? You can always add the questions into the group as well. And of course, if you guys have charts and stuff you want to like show and like analyze and talk about, we can do that in the chat as well in the group.
Okay, just actually a quick question. Has everybody accessed the group? Because a couple and other things that we'll say that it's a new group for us. We're building it out. We're also so I just want to make sure everyone on the call, they've got access in there. Tomorrow morning, well, I'll say tomorrow late morning, the recording will be in there. We'll do a post, the recording, the learning resources. Actually, Renee, can you actually share the Canva learning resource for everyone that's on the call today? I think that's what we'll do as a reward for everybody that turns in live. You'll get the access to the quiz, you'll get the access to the learning resources live in real time. And then in the group tomorrow, we will share the learning resource, we'll share the quiz, we'll share the recording. And then you can work on those activities. And then every Monday night, as I said, will be with me. Every Wednesday night will be with Renee. But if you have questions, support. Now, these classes are a lot more hands-on, so Renee will be in that group. She'll be checking it, you know, on a regular basis. And you can also DM her. There's a chat feature where you can DM her in the group if you want to ask her any questions. So please. Is there a different quiz for Monday night and Wednesday night? Very good question, Nick. Yes. So if you go into the group, actually, you know what I might do is I might actually just do a quick little demo here. I actually meant to do that on Monday. So well, Renee, I actually have the group open here. So give me.
Oh, that's weird. Should it be that long? Oh, works.
You just
It
need
works.
to go to the Canva, and then it's the share link. Okay, everyone, I think you should see my screen here. I'm in the admin view, but you'll see here that there's the crypto trading. You got the Web3 basics. So you'll see here that I posted the quiz here. So you can go here. This is a week 1's quiz. And then tomorrow we'll post in here. So we'll always post, and all of the recordings will always be here. So we've got the mastermind class, we've got the first weeks, and then the individual quizzes. And then we also send it out in an email. So tomorrow, you'll get an email. It will have the recording, it will have the learning resources, it will have the quiz, but you can also find them inside of the platform inside here that we're building out. And we'd also like your feedback. Pardon me. Been talking too much today. If there's anything we can do to improve it, it's a new education platform. I build out a lot of LMSs. This is a new one for us that we're building out. So we're always open to feedback and suggestions. Now, Renee, I think I'm done with that. I just wanted to give people a little bit of a visual there. Also, the last thing, folks, actually, events. If you want to know what we have going on, you'll find them up into here. And then the leaderboard. Okay, let's see who's on the leaderboard. Oh, D in the house. Well done, D. Doing a great job. You have been smashing out some of those quizzes, I think. So D's doing a good job. We got Sarah in second prize. We got Karen. We got 2 Karens battling it out. So as you can see, we have a leaderboard here, and we've got prizes up for grabs. So learn and earn is all part of the program. Get in there, dive in, do your weekly quizzes. If you have any questions, let me know. And Renee, I'm going to pass it back to you because I think you wanted to share something.
No, I think that was the last slide. Oh, yeah. So it's just the homework.
Oh, you were just going to share the learning resource and you found it.
Yeah.
Right,
So that's it. I'll figure out the links better.
Perfect. No worries. But also we'll share the PDF of the slides as well, but it will all be available for you in the group tomorrow. So folks, thank you so much. We're so happy that you joined us tonight. We hope that you got some value out of tonight. I hope that you are excited to keep learning with Renee. And if you have any last minute questions, now is the time. Otherwise, we will either see you on Monday or on Wednesday nights for the 8 weeks. Please tune in and please invite your friends. This is all free. It will always be free, but the best way for us to keep it free is by you guys sharing and helping us grow this community. Because our sponsors and our backers, such as like Binance and Bybit. Binance is also one of our sponsors as well. We've got so many. We support them all. But you know, at All Things Blockchain, we've got a numerous amounts of different types of sponsors. So we really, we just need you to share the love. We just want to educate as many people and just create this as to be a safe place, because there's a lot of opportunity, like Renee said, to make a lot of money in crypto trading. I've made some fantastic, I'm not a trader, and I've made some I'm a hodler, but you need to be safe. I've also lost a lot of money. So we're just here to help you learn that journey. And hopefully we're at the start of a really big bull market. What do they call it? Blow off top.
Yeah.
Let's see what Donald Trump. Let's see
Hopefully.
what Donald Trump does, and and we'll go from there. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being active. And I'm looking really forward to checking on who's going to be on the top of the leaderboard next week, because D is in top place at the moment. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Bye.